So I want to show you two pieces. I want to show you a clavicle. This is in your notes, a clavicle headpiece. And I also want to show you the hyoid piece, okay? So I'm going to do the clavicle headpiece first. I'm going to take Kara's head and hold underneath by the occiput, on the occiput. And then I'm going to check out her right clavicle, okay? And so the scalenes obviously are involved here. The SCM is involved here. But for now, I'm just orienting around those bones, right? So again, because of that traction here, a lot of times I've found that the compression of the head towards the clavicle is not super effective. It can be, right? But I want to give you another option. I mean, she just released there, which was nice. But another option is to find that traction. And for her, let's see if she's going to go into it. So I'm noticing, does the clavicle want to go down, inferior towards her feet, up towards her head, superior, out, or in? It wants to go out a little bit. It actually wants to depress towards the table. And then I'm going to gently traction her head away from that. And I'm going to hold my bones strong. I'm going to find my back space. I'm going to give her a little more space. There's a pulsing of her shoulder. Slowly coming out. I'm going to move my arm. My jaw just released. And there she goes. How'd that feel? Mm-hmm. Yeah, way softer. Okay, and then you'll do the same on the other side. So maybe you just check out that kind of clavicle movement beforehand. Her clavicle movement is pretty good, but I'm looking a little bit more up with the connection up to the head. So connecting my two hands here. There's a little bit of a shear of her head to the left. So I'm going to go with that pattern. I'm going to bring her head left. Her clavicle is going to move down towards her feet and out laterally. And then I am going to try a little bit. Sometimes you'll feel a little bit more extension or flexion, maybe with traction, right? Which is what I have here. A little bit of flexion, and I'm tractioning out. And there she goes. Oh, wow. Your head just got a lot heavier. Beautiful. And now, like the insertion of our SCM is super juicy up here. Okay. Okay, so now I'm going to do the hyoid. And all I'm going to do to the hyoid, do I sound like a broken record yet? Right? What do we do in phase 4? Where do you want to go?
You're going to connect to the bone.
I'm going to connect to the bone, and I'm going to go left and right and up and down and see if it wants to twist a little, superior, inferior, right? So obviously this is like a little bit more of a vulnerable place for people. So I don't want to come in like this, you know. So I'm going to come in by her ears, and I'm going to glide my fingers around until I feel those two edges. You can feel it on yourself, so you know where it is. Two little bones, right? And then I'm going to ask her if that feels okay, that contact. She said yes. Okay, and I'm just going to notice the soft tissue around it. So I'm noticing like a little higher tone of tissue around that hyoid is just where I'm starting. I'm actually noticing that like I feel like her esophagus is pulled a little forward. So I'm gently going to toggle to the left, toggle to the right. Definitely goes more to the right. Would you say yes? Okay. So then I'm going to see if does it want to go down, left and up, or in, or out. Okay, it likes left. I don't know about the other directions yet. It likes left. And look at the angles, right? There's a little bit of angle. That's what I sense. Here we go. So I'm going inferior on the right side, and I'm pushing the hyoid to the right from my left hand. And I'm going to go, here's your pattern. Here's your pattern. Here's your pattern. I'm going to go into it more. Hold it. There's this slow unwinding, and I'm trying to figure out if that's it or not. It's sort of like, am I in the right place? Okay, so I feel like I lost it, right? This is just great. It's great learning, right? What did you feel?
Yeah, it's like waiting for something.
Yeah, it's sort of like, it got my message and then nothing happened.
Like, that's what I do.
Yeah. Thanks for showing me what I do.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna change my tactic, right?
Show me something else.
I'm gonna take my fingertips to the chin, and I'm gonna see if I can, from the chin, shorten these muscles and approach the hyoid that way, okay? Because it wasn't so keen on me right at it. So I'm gonna bring my hand to her chin. I'm gonna have her open her mouth just a little so her jaw is relaxed. Yep. And I'm gonna hold her chin. And I'm gonna bring my hand to her head. Does that feel okay?
Mm-hmm.
Just to stabilize my fingers a little bit. And then I'm gonna gently bring her, her chin wants to go to the right. And I'm gonna, there we go.
Oh.
Great. So there's something about these muscles here that needed to release in order for me to maybe be able to come to the hyoid. Let's check it out, right? So I'm gonna bring my fingers back to the hyoid. Oh, it definitely feels different. It feels like it's sitting differently. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna toggle left and right again. It goes way more to the left. A little up and down. It feels like it goes up a little bit more than it goes down. So maybe I bring it again a little bit more up. So I'm going to come from underneath and just give it a little pull up. I'm still in my bones. I'm not going to fluids, right? Here we go. Here's the pattern, and I'm just holding the occiput. Her jaw is softening. I feel her C1 releasing. There we go. Good. And then I don't know if you can see, but the top of the neck here is a lot softer, right? And the jaw, look at that, gushy, 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 gushy. Good. And then the hyoid, yeah, there's a lot more mobility there.
Yeah, I feel like the esophagus is back in my neck now.
Oh, good.
It's always a pleasant.
It's a plus, right?
In the back of my neck.
Yeah. So I did more than you may want to do, right? You can just toggle up and down, just feel where it wants to go and hold it. If you want to put in that occiput with the chin, you can do that. And if you want to put in the occiput with the clavicle, right? Sometimes it looks like this. See, now she has actually more movement in that ability to kind of find a different relationship with the clavicle. Sometimes it looks like that extension and pulled away. Because what do we do all day? What? Right? Right? So that you may find that pattern a little bit more. And maybe you try the hyoid before you try the clavicle piece. Okay? Or maybe you just do one of those pieces. All right? You get to choose, your partner gets to choose, and you only have 12 minutes to do it in. Okay? So 6 minutes and